An Officer and a Gentleman follows the story of a young Zach Mayo, played by Richard Gere, as he joins the US Navy. Mayo has a bad attitude and a big motorcycle, but his drill sergeant is always on hand, played by Louis Gossett Jr. in an Oscar-winning role nonetheless, and he's there to deliver some much-needed discipline. Now, everybody probably knows this film because of its ending, but also because of its soundtrack, which is prolific throughout the film. The theme by Joe Cocker was a big hit at the time. And I'm not surprised, because it's everywhere in the film. It's as if somebody has gone back and re-edited the film when they knew it was a hit and gone, right, just put it everywhere. Anything you can think of, just put that theme in there, okay? Aside from the rather sentimental direction by Taylor Hackford, the film does actually still have some teeth. The story centres on Zach and his fellow recruits and their interactions with the local girls, and they all dream of being whisked away by one of these young cadets. What I find interesting is actually that both the young and the old women are all working in the same factory. Old women are constantly telling the youngsters tales of men that have loved them and left them, kind of warning the kids not to follow in their footsteps and to just don't pin all your hopes on those US Marines. Don't do that. Now, the film is obviously full of huge emotional scenes. That is exactly what people want from a romance. And it has the classic will they, won't they storyline. And as an audience member, we want Zach to change. We want him to really, truly escape his neglectful upbringing and develop into a much better person. There are things, however, that I just can't get on with in the story. The emphasis that it puts on the men to go out and rescue these women. These women are just waiting there. They got nothing else to do. They can't rescue themselves. They need somebody else to come in and do that for them. And it's not exactly that the women are weak or give weak performances within the film. They're not one-dimensional in any way. But I just feel like it is outdated. The film builds to this moment where Zach, and actually let's talk about the ending. This ending is, famous. You can see it in The Simpsons or Friends, and it's riffed on so many times. And I feel like it's a good ending for this film. I feel like we need them to get together by the end of it. It's what we expect. It's what the audience paid their money for. But I feel a bit shortchanged that this is it, that this is all that we've been working towards, is this one moment. It's a good moment. Is that it? Is that all this film was leading up to? Is Richard Gere wandering in his uniform and scooping somebody up? I mean, Richard Gere himself was a bit down on the idea of the ending to start with, until he saw the run through, and then he thought, well, what if they were all cheering and clapping in the background? It gave a kind of euphoric moment for the end of the film. Thank God one of the women have got out of this place. An Officer and a Gentleman, I think, is a morality tale about bad boys and good girls, and how whether, when they're born, people are born into these circumstances, can they ever really get out of it? I suppose the hope is that them together as a couple can actually work better than they have done apart. But, this film didn't exactly do anything spectacular for me, and I think the only reason for its inclusion is the soundtrack that was such a big hit. Richard Gere gives a good performance, and that ending that has really been riffed, as I say, so many times since. But let me know, did you grow up with this film? I have a feeling that if you watch this film in the cinema, I think watching it again and again will give you that nostalgic feeling. But thank you, and thank you for coming back. It's good to be back doing videos again. Next week I will be reviewing the comedy The Odd Couple, so please tune in then to hear my review. Thank you very much.